Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Why don't we just wait here for a little while?
Do you want to know what it is?
There's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
There's a special rug in hell reserved for people who waste good scotch.
He peed on my rug!
He peed on the dude's rug.
Do your worst.
Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Welcome to your feature presentation. I am Heath Fall, your host. This is March 6th. Welcome to the weekly show for release dates this weekend, March 8th. We've got a couple movies we're going to break down for you, and we're going to have a little suggestion of what we think you should watch this weekend. With me in the studio today is Andrew McKay.
Hello, welcome everyone. We got a couple movies. Cabrini is coming wide release this weekend, as well as Imaginary and Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah.
So first up, we'll chat a little bit about Cabrini.
Yeah, do you want to read the tale of the tape for us?
After witnessing disease and poverty in the slums of New York, Italian immigrant Francesca Cabrini embarks on a daring journey to persuade the hostile mayor to provide housing and healthcare for hundreds of orphaned children.
So not a maybe a happy movie. It seems pretty serious.
It's
but
no Kung Fu Panda 2. Sorry, no Kung Fu Panda 4.
Kung Fu Panda 4, right. But yeah, let's break down Cabrini just a little bit. So it seems more of like a serious movie. It's even listed as possibly a little bit biographical, documentary, not documentary. This isn't filmed. So this is definitely more of, it's probably going to say, based on a true story or based on events of a true story, however they like to say it. But yeah, it's got some not big name actors. I'd say it's fairly straightforward. It's the same director who did, he just did Sound of Freedom. So I think that kind of tells you the style of movie. Little Boy, Bella. I actually don't think I've seen any of this director's work. Have you seen any of this?
No, I don't think I have seen them. I know that this is pretty on par. Like, this type of movie seems to be pretty on par for what he's done with Little Boy and Sound of Freedom. Kind of a more historical, dramatic interpretation of interesting points in history, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be, if you make your way out to the theater and you catch it, I think it'll be a really interesting watch. And especially after Sound of Freedom, I think he might get a little bit more attention than some previous movies, which is great. More people in the theater, And
also just looking at some, like, again, it's unfortunate I haven't seen any of his work, but pretty solid rated movies. So if that sounds interesting to you, I think there's a pretty good chance that it's going to be a good movie. He was also, I'm just looking at his bio, he's born in 1977, which is, Star Wars release. So that's got to mean something, right?
There's some magic in that year. Yeah.
Man,
in 1977, you were like 20? You're 20 years old? Is that?
I was 20. Negative 33.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoa. And I'm 33 right now. So what does that mean?
So that means the director of Cabrini is your anti-Heath.
He's wow. I never thought of it that way. But if I ever meet him, we'll have something to talk about.
Yes, yeah.
Next, let's talk about Imaginary. Do you have a...
Yeah. So, Imaginary is about a woman returning to her childhood home to discover that the imaginary friend that she left behind is real and unhappy that she abandoned him. Little scary movie, teddy bear, out for vengeance and blood. Thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, Vengeful Teddy Bear. This is a very different movie than the last one. I'd say horror, horror slasher. Jeff Waldlow is the director of this.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm trying to find his work here. He's new for.
I mean, I've seen.
Kick-Ass 2. Yep. Truth or Dare.
Bates Motel. Yeah, Bates Motel was really good. I watched almost all of that, but he was a producer for that.
What movie did you watch? Almost all of?
No, Bates Motel was the show.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I watched this movie. It was pretty good. I almost finished it.
Oh, he made a movie once. I almost watched all.
Yeah, I thought about it. I hovered over my remote and I was like,
Yeah.
nah, maybe. Yeah, again, it's what he's known for is nothing movie wise is nothing. I don't know. I don't want to say it's just not super quality, but I also don't want to say that again because I think horror movies and comedy movies tend to do poorer on just ratings. Yeah. And I think if you like that kind of movie, like Imaginary, I wouldn't go check it out if you don't like horror, if you don't like slasher movies, But it seems fun, It seems like, just like a light time with your friends. So that's what that movie is there. So, and the last one, a little movie called Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yes, yeah. It's been a long time coming,
Yeah.
What's the, pop quiz question for you.
Yeah.
What is it called? So a trilogy is 3 movies. What is a 4-movie run?
Would it be called a quadrilogy?
Am I supposed to know the answer to my pop quiz question? Because I can find out.
Just pretend that you're...
However, you discover what a 4-movie run is called, and I will tell the viewers what this movie's about.
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, just freaking Google it, my guy.
Yeah.
So, after Poe is tapped to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, obviously, he needs to find and train a new dragon warrior, while a wicked sorceress plans to resummon all of the master villains whom Poe has vanquished to the spirit realm. Pretty intense. Perhaps also a horror movie, just like Imaginary. So we got a big 2 horror movie. I'm just kidding.
Obviously, Kung Fu Panda 4 is a horror movie.
We're dipping into the horror genre.
I do have your answer, but I'm going to hold it.
Ooh.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4, which is a great series. It's like if you like that, it's going to be a fun kids family movie. I was looking it up too, and just like once again, like I should have said it about the other movies, but they're like IMDb wise, like we're talking like in the 7s, things like that. And same thing for the Kung Fu Panda series. It's pretty solid. Like there hasn't been a huge downswing. This movie does. The only thing that made me hesitant is there is a lot fewer of named actors attached to this movie. Which, I mean, Kung Fu Panda 4, or Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, and 3 has so many names that, like, you don't even understand, why they're in it. Like Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen, Jackie Chan, David Cross, like all these big names. And they were in the first 3 with Jack Black and Dustin Hoffman and Bryan Cranston and Ian McShane. And they're not in this one. And they're still big name actors, but it's interesting that they departed from pretty much half of the cast, like that were such a big part of the next one. And I'm sure that's going to be told in the story. But to me, that always says, ooh, did the story just not go there? Or is it for budget reasons? Like, is this a lower quality? Which that does not mean it.
Could you not convince Angelina Jolie to do another Kung Fu Panda?
Likely.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
But
also, then
I will say that Bryan Cranston is in this movie.
Yeah. I believe he was in 3 as well.
Was he in 3?
Yes. Lee. He was Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Ke Huy Quan from Indiana Jones.
You call him Dr. Jones, doll.
Yes.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. So excited to have him in movies now. Again. That's
incredible. He's the kid in Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones, and he's like kind of just had a resurgence of an acting career, and it's really cool to see him in a bunch of things. But yeah, so I don't know. I think Kung Fu Panda 4 is still going to be quality. That's something I just thought about. It's like, this is a changing of people. And so it's interesting to see, is it going to lower the quality? I don't think it will, but it is like, ooh, that's a departure. It seems like people kind of changed, at least what it was before.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Break the news to me. What is a 4 run?
Tetralogy.
No
Tetralogy.
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 Wow. All right.
Word of the day.
Keep it in your back pocket. Yeah.
Everyone listening you can go to your work and just say tetralogy.
Yeah.
And
You
people
learned
say what?
several new things today.
Yeah, several. Do you want to know what movies are coming out? Do you want to know what a 4-movie series is called? Which would be a trilogy, which would be interesting because I think trilogy is kind of overused.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is there 3 movies in that series, or is it actually does it have to be planned? Can you call it a trilogy if it wasn't planned?
Ooh, that's a good
I
question.
don't know. I mean, I guess
we
most
would
trilogies
probably have to change. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, I mean, Star Wars, I don't think was planned. That's a very debatable. That's a rabbit hole I don't think we have time for today. But
Heath, that was exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's like
we were opening our mouths to say the same thing.
Tabs open. We had too much.
Oh.
And the weekly show is meant to just say, hey, these are the movies coming out, and this is what I think you should go watch. So yeah, out of these 3 movies, what kind of interests you? What's one that kind of would you want to go see this weekend? Are you planning on going to see a movie this weekend?
I think that my attraction now, because of the stage of life I'm in, is Kung Fu Panda 4. Like, if you and I can probably relate to this, we have children.
Mm-hmm.
This type of movie is more attractive to our families.
Yeah.
However, I do love a horror movie. I do love a movie that leans into, like a horror movie that leans into one trope, one little, like, suspension of disbelief, and then you just play off of that. So I am interested in Imaginary.
Yeah.
And I think that will be one I'll watch later.
Yeah, I think, same thing. I mean, my wife doesn't really like horror movies, so if I go to a movie, it's typically with her or with, a friend. So it just depends on who am I going to the theater with. Is it going to be a Kung Fu Panda 4? Kung Panda 4. Pung. I said it. Pung. I cannot say it. Kung Fu Panda 4. If I'm going with my wife, it's going to be that. If it's not, I'd say probably Imaginary. That's the one I would say is most interesting to me, and I go for movies for entertainment sake, and I think both of those would do it for me.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
So with
get to
Tabs,
the movie theater.
Yeah, get to the movie theater. Go see one of these movies. So yeah, what is your top? Let's break it down and actually decide which one we would go to.
Man, I'm going to see Kung Fu Panda 4.
Kung Fu Panda 4? Okay. Yeah, honestly, me too. I think that's what I would do.
Oh.
It's hard to break a series that when it's 4 of something like a family movie like this, it's like you're not going to be surprised by anything, but that's kind of also nice as well, because you're like, I'm going with my family. I know what I'm going to get. And the movies so far have been all similar quality. So I think you're going to have a fun time. And what's better than going to the movies?
Yeah. What's better than going to see the tetralogical finale of a story arching a decade or more?
Yeah.
When was the first one? 2009?
Yeah, actually, I don't know.
15 years, probably.
Yeah, I mean, at least, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Let me look that up here real quick.
A story for the ages, truly. Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
The underdog.
2008.
We should change underdog to underpanda.
Underpanda. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, so this has been a bigger break for this one, because it was Kung Fu Panda 2008. The second one was 2011. Third one was 2016. And then, so quite a few years later to 2024. But yeah, there's been a ton of TV shows about this too. If anybody's out there been like, I've only watched the movies, but I'm obsessed. I don't think Kung Fu Panda has a big following on, the circuits or anything. But if you love it, there's a TV show out there for you. So go and watch that. Real quick, we've got a little more time left. So I'd love to actually bring up just kind of an interesting thought. When I brought up those other cast members being a part of it, and you said something really interesting in the car the other night. We talk about movies quite often. Why don't you tell us again on the pod what you feel about named actors in movies?
Oh, very interesting. Like animated movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have a hard time. Well, maybe not a hard time. It can get really tricky when you have an animated film, and you're going for, like, let's say the family vibe. Like, you want that kind of demographic, and you've got some really good voice actors who are doing an amazing job, and then the project or the studio or whoever it is connects a big name to the film. Maybe because they're good, because they're a good actor, because they're a funny comedian, what have you. But I feel that oftentimes it's for the name in advertising.
Yeah.
Because that name on a poster is huge marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know, it seems weird. It seems like you're really beating the dead horse. Not the dead horse. You're really like using.
On a steel horse, I ride.
Because I'm wanted, dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
No, it just seems like you're using the name and status of someone who is genuinely an amazing actor or performer, just to like ride that wave of just their name. When maybe someone else like could use a big break, but that's also like my personality. Like I want to give the little guy a shot. If someone auditions and they can do an amazing job, but nobody knows them.
Yeah.
Go that route. I think that's really fun and exciting. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. No. No, exactly. No, that I just
way off the mark.
No, I agree. And you even brought up how Robin Williams was a case where he was like, don't bring me up, don't sell me on this movie. And that's what they did, starring Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And I think it's coming from I enjoy a lot of video games and audiobooks. There's like a lot of talented voice actors out there that I'm like, I don't know. There's somebody like, okay, Jack Black is Po from Kung Fu Panda. So I definitely understand why he's in it. And I'm not saying these other people aren't good voice actors at all. I'm just saying I don't understand why they feel the need to have Jackie Chan play a Kung Fu Panda monkey in Kung Fu Panda. In the first one, I mean, he has 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I think you're right. Sometimes in that case, it does feel like it's just for the poster. And I think we're also in a changing of the times where old Hollywood is still on this actors sell movies. And I think they can, but I would argue, I doubt if anybody really cares if, Angelina Jolie is in Kung Fu Panda 4 or not. I found that out because I do this podcast and I looked it up, and I'm like, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, oh, Angelina Jolie's not that. I'm not going to see Kung Fu Panda 4. I will be able to say it. I promise. I'm going to say it. Kung Fu Panda, Kung Fu Panda, Kung Fu Panda. And I think there's a lot of, we talk a lot about how movies are so expensive right now. And I think that's another way of just like, how much do you have to pay her? Because she also knows that you're banking the movie off her.
Absolutely.
And I would argue, I just don't know if it's that meaningful. I mean, especially naming of itself, if you said, Jack Black, people would understand it. But I'm like, do you even need those big names? I mean, I think we should be quality voice actors over after names. And I just don't think actors are pulling to movies. I think trailers sell movies a lot more right now. It's just like, it's a good trailer, and that's what gets me excited. And it's like, oh, Kung Fu Panda 4, like, that looked like a fun trailer, looked cool, looked fun. I chuckled at a couple parts. It's like, sweet, Yeah,
I think that's an interesting thing. Maybe we could do a further discussion on this. The idea that actors being connected to projects doesn't necessarily sell movies like it used to. But I think I'm technically Gen Z. I'm one of the older Gen Z people. And what I see on social media like Instagram, TikTok, the reviews or the people that I talk to that are my age, what sells movies, this is my personal opinion. I think what's selling movies to Gen Zers is other people's reviews, podcast reviews, like a TikToker who has a movie channel and that regular person is reviewing a movie. Maybe if you have a favorite actor or two, you'll go see their stuff, or a director. But ultimately, the power of just someone telling you, on a channel that you trust, that, hey, this movie is really worth it, I think that has a way more pull than just so-and-so is connected to the project. And you're like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I think a movie that
I
always...
going that way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of like, who do you trust? Because I think even, I think rating websites is a good way to just vet what you're going to see. Movies are expensive, especially if you're going with a whole family. If you're just going by yourself, you're just buying one ticket, it's not too bad. But I personally check. You can check IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. There's definitely ways to be like, hey, is this movie worth my time? I think me and you are people that just kind of like, you just want to go see a movie. Like, I have fun. I saw Madam Web. I knew it was terrible, and I was like, I want to go see what this is all about. And in my opinion, it was not good, but I had fun. Yeah. It's hard to not have fun in the movie theater for me.
Yes, that's very true.
But a movie I want to bring up was Passengers. It's a 2016 movie. Have you seen that? With it's Jennifer Lawrence and
Chris.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
My close personal friend Chris.
Yeah, and I think it was a decent movie. It was well received, but it didn't make like any money, and at least what the budget was. That's another thing too. It's like movies, they're so expensive now that it's like it has to clean up. It can't just be like, oh yeah, good amount of people went to go see that. It's crazy how many people need to go see a movie for it to be, to actually make money now. But that was a movie I remember seeing that, like, it didn't have a good weekend. It didn't, do super well financially. And that was the first time that I had noticed, it's like, especially in 2016, I'm like, Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pratt, like, who else is going to get you to go see a movie just because of an actor at that time, I don't know. And I think it's more of, we just are on the heels of Dune Part 2, which we just put up our reaction video.
Oh, so good.
We loved it. And I'm like, it's the same thing, though. I think if you put some of those actors in a movie next, but it's not Dune, it's something else, I don't think anybody's going to see that just for that actor. I think it's like, ooh, show me something interesting, or do something new, like excite me about it,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it used to not be that way.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we land the plane? Because I have a question for us.
All right. Yeah, you got 2 minutes.
Okay. So, question to end the episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have any series of movie get one more installation, which series would it be? Like they're doing it today. All the actors are coming back. As many people as possible. If they're alive, they're connected to the project.
I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love the Fantastic series. And I don't think they're going to make another one. And I'd really like them to wrap that up. That's the most
a good
like,
answer to,
that's a movie
to try and
series.
finish something.
Yeah, I like the movie series a lot. Not a ton of people were going to see it, same thing, but I'm like, just wrap it up. They were supposed to do 5 movies. They did 3. It's just like, give me one more. Just wrap up the story. What's yours?
Wow, that's a good answer. Oh, I think. See, this is my problem, is I ask questions and I don't have responses. I think that I would love... Is this a little embarrassing? I don't know why I'm thinking about this. I want, like, another Mamma Mia movie. I'm not sure, like...
I'm going to pause you.
Favorite series?
I'm going to pause you right there because we are out of time. And we're going to follow up next week on why Andrew wants another Mamma Mia series. So go see Kung Fu Panda 4. Oh, my word. Thanks for tuning in. Go see a movie.
Peace out.